Hi everyone and welcome to my 14th video today. Today we're going to be talking about travel insurance, which is so important and it always brings up a lot of questions. So the first thing you need to know is to be very clear on the dates of your travel. Are you traveling for a whole year? Are you traveling for a month? Are you doing a short trip? Because this will impact the price and the way you quote insurance. So I have a couple of insurance pulled up here that I want to show you guys. There is really two main ones that I recommend for year trips, and it's World Nomads and Assist Card. So I'm going to show you what I quoted with them for a whole year. So this is World Nomads. Let me try to get this as much as I can. World Nomads. This is the insurance that I recommend the most for travelers, especially if you're doing long-term trips and especially if you're going to be doing a lot of exploring and adventure. It is really, really good. So the cheapest plan, as you see, for a year quote is $1,198, and if you do Explorer, it's $1,325. So the difference between Standard and Explorer is that, as you will see, not only does it cover more things and like an unlimited expenses of medical and dental, but also it covers high risk sports. Like here, for example, it says higher risk sports. That includes, if I'm not wrong, you can see the whole list if you pull it up, but if I'm not wrong, it covers like skydiving, and it covers bungee jumping. So if you're more into extreme sports, you know you're going to be doing extreme sports in your trip, I suggest you take Explorer. Then you get the whole list of things that it covers. Make sure you go over it: baggage and personal, missed flights, travel delay, etc. And then you select, and of course you pay for it. So World Nomads, like I said, is specialized on travelers that are doing longer term trips and that are going to do adventure during their trips. Just to tell you a personal anecdote, I always choose World Travelers, and I was recently in Bali in November when the volcano exploded, so my trip was delayed twice. So I got 2 canceled flights and I had to stay over for another 5 days. This was covered. So not only did they cover my delays, but they gave me a stipend per day because it wasn't under my control. It was a natural disaster. So again, that's the great thing about travel insurance, is that when things that not necessarily is health, but also natural disasters and unexpected events happen, you are covered. So I really, really recommend World Nomads. Again, specialized for young adventure travelers. But then you have the popular Assist Card. So Assist Card also lets you take trips for a whole year. This is very, very important. It's a bit more pricey. So as you see, I'm getting quoted in Colombian pesos because that's my nationality. But it starts from $1,200 to, and it goes up to $2,500 around. And then, so it depends what kind of assist card you want. Let's select the cheapest one. Something super important, you guys: make sure you read all the terms and conditions. In the terms and conditions is where you're gonna find very important information about deductible. So a deductible is the amount you need to pay before the insurance starts paying you. So for example, my deductible with World Nomads, I think it was $300. So if I haven't spent $300, then they won't start covering you. This is very, very important. So here's Assist Card again, going back here, and it tells you multi-destiny, a year coverage, one adult, 364 days. Then you can see the details. These are the 2 insurance that I recommend if you're taking 1 year long trips. There is plenty of other travel insurance if you're taking shorter trips that are way cheaper. But if you're taking a trip that's going to last a year, this is the one you should take. There's other, for example, there's a couple of insurance This one's called IMG, IM Global. They cover you for a whole year, but each trip has to be at least a maximum, 45 days. So this is very, very important, because you can get an insurance like, say, like, oh, 2018, I'm gonna travel the world, but I'm coming back to Panama, which is where I live, every trip. So my first trip is going to be to Thailand, and I'm gonna be in Thailand for 30 days, and then I go back to Panama. And then I do another trip and I go to the US, and I'm in the US for 45 days, and then I come back to Panama. That is very, very different. So you can get other insurance for that. It's called short-term insurance, and they cover you up to 30 to 45 days per trip. Make sure you read that very, very well, because if you keep on traveling, it won't cover you. That is something very important. A second very important thing, you guys, is if you travel to the US, your insurance will skyrocket in price. So if you're skipping the US and you're not going to the US, make sure you tell them that, because your insurance will be cheaper. And there's even an option here. They even give you the options like, where are you traveling? And usually, let me see if they let you. And one of the ones I have opened. I think I might have not one open right now, but like here, maybe let's go back to World Nomads. Here you can select. So for example, let's say country of residence, get a quote. This is, like you see, I'm gonna get a world quote here. Oh, here we go. No, damn it. Okay, worldwide. There we go. This is what I meant. And it's going to give you the choice of, it's not giving me the choice, but usually they give you the choice worldwide, including the US, or worldwide, not including the US. So once again, if you're not going to the US, don't choose that, because it's going to be more expensive. Then I found this one that I didn't know. It's called AXA insurance, and it's a worldwide 1 year individual. I chose the most expensive plan. Here's the details of everything that it covers. And because I'm currently in Thailand, it's really interesting. It's not only quoting me on Thai, but it's also giving me like extra benefits of start from Thailand. So if I was to get this today, I would be starting my insurance from Thailand, which actually made it way cheaper. But look at this. Each trip should not exceed 90 days. That is what I was talking about. So what this means is that I have an insurance for a whole year, but every 90 days I should come back to Thailand, because it's covering me trips no more than 90 days. Then here I have another insurance that I found today. I actually wouldn't recommend this one because I haven't used it. It's called Global Voyager. Whatever, you guys get it. And again, 1 year trip worldwide. I'm 28. And then here I'm saying everything that I don't have. And this is $561, which is way cheaper than Assist Card and World Nomads. So I'm very, very surprised. But again, I haven't used them, so I don't know if I recommend them. But my point is that whenever you guys are quoting for travel insurance, make sure you read the terms and conditions very, very well. Specifically, the deductible, because it might be way too high, like, a deductible of $1,000. That means that if you go to the hospital and you pay $40, you're never gonna get there. And the second thing you need to check is that if you're covered for a whole year straight, or if it's asking you to take small trips of up to X number of days. Very important. And the last thing is, of course, everything that's not covered. So you will see in travel insurance, especially if you choose worldwide, that there's a couple of countries that are not covered, like Cuba, Iran, Iraq, usually conflict countries. But then also make sure you read what is not covered. So if you're like, for example, renting a scooter like I am, and you get in an accident in a scooter, is it covered or not? That's why I really recommend World Nomads, because once again, they found their niche, and their niche is young travelers, and they know that young travelers are going to do skydiving, are going to rent a scooter, and are going to go whitewater rafting. So they have it all detailed, and they tell you if it's covered or not. Usually it is. So make sure you read this very, very well. And last, I also recommend this one a lot. It's called Bupa Global. It's a British insurance company, and here I found, so basic non-medical trip cancellation is worldwide protection. It covers medical with no limit, trip cancellation, etc. And it's $330, but again, so you have to see the disclaimers. This is what I was talking about: war zone, pre-existing conditions, expedition. So for example, here it says it won't cover you if you go to Antarctica or the North Pole or Greenland, whatever. And I think I opened up the policies here exactly. So here it says everything that covers. This is what I mean. You guys need to read this very well. And if you have any questions before you purchase an insurance, make sure you get in contact with them. So everywhere in insurance websites, you'll find things like this. Or not. Where did it go? Here you go. Chat windows. So everywhere it's like, hi, I don't understand what you mean by blah, blah, blah. And they'll text you back because they want you to buy their insurance. So that is it. Again, in summary, I really, really recommend World Nomads, especially for long-term trips. For shorter term trips, Assist Card is really good. They cover medical, non-medical, dental. They cover trip cancellation, and they have smaller deductibles, so make sure you check them out. And last thing before I forget is also check out your personal insurance in your home country. A lot of them you can do an upgrade and get covered internationally, so that could be also a good option. So you continue to pay your home insurance and you upgrade it so it covers you anywhere in the world. That is it for me. I hope that helped. It's a lot of reading and research that needs to go into insurance, but it's worth it, especially if you're like me, that is taking longer trips and that is doing adventure stuff like renting scooters. Get covered. Bye.